scheduled for 12 rounds, and you can see, what does that say in the hair? Zadilia, I believe it says, on the head of Oscar, or rather Jorge Paez. You know, Paez didn't have that in his head the other day at the press conference, so he just had it shaved in there just recently, perhaps yesterday. Now here's the tail of the tape for this one. De La Hoya, 21 years of age, Paez 28. Height advantage going to De La Hoya, 5'10" and a half. Paez 5'5". 135 the limit right there for De La Hoya. 134 and a half for Paez, and the reach equal at 72, and that is a pretty large reach for Paez at 5'5". Here's the WBO rules. That's World Boxing Organization. This scheduled 12-rounder, a 10-point must system. 3 knockdown rule is in effect. If a fighter's knocked down 3 times in any round, the fight is over. No standing 8 count in the state of Nevada. You can only be saved by the bell in the last round, and only the referee can stop the fight, not a cornerman. So if you see a towel thrown into the ring, that does not illustrate the stoppage of the fight. The referee will make that decision only. The ring announcer is, well, now he's considered the best in the world, and Michael Buffer with his usual "let's get ready to rumble," but he saves that for what is the main event, so we don't expect that. Here he is.
Welcome to the Grand Garden here at the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, Nevada, where tonight Mr. Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, proud to be your bud, presents an evening of professional world championship boxing. All the bouts are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Dr. Elias Ghanem, Commissioners Nat Caroselli, Luther Mack, Dr. James Nave, and Crispin Rivera. Executive Director Mark Ratner, Chief Physician Dr. Flip Romansky, attending ringside physicians Dr. James Wishgame, Dr. William Berliner, timekeeper James Cavan, counting for the knockdown seconds Mike Lasella. This first bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, President, former light heavyweight champion of the world, Jose Torres, supervisor at ringside, Mr. Ed Levine. The 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system are Chuck Giampa, Jerry Roth, and John Stewart. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action working in a world championship bout for the 99th time, referee Richard Steele. And now, ladies and gentlemen, man your battle stations. This is the Battle of Champions, 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with white trim, weighing in at 155 pounds, undefeated with a record of 13-0, 12 KOs. This 1992 Olympic gold medal champion comes to us tonight from Los Angeles, California, East LA to be exact. Ladies and gentlemen, the current WBO Junior Lightweight Champion of the World, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red trunks with green and white trim, weighing in at 134.5 pounds. His professional record, 53 victories, 35 by KO, against 6 defeats with 4 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mexicali, Mexico, he's the #1 ranked WBO contender, the former featherweight champion of the world, Jorge Marromero Paez.
All right, I spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. I'm cautioning them again. Obey my commands at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
Oscar De La Hoya, of course, holds the WBO Junior Lightweight Championship, and He defended that title one time, and he's hoping he can gain the lightweight championship, which is at 135, the weight limit. 130 is the weight limit for the junior lightweight, so he's moved up 5 pounds and is looking to gain this championship, which is vacant right now. Paez, of course, a former world champion as well, and he is hoping that this stake will be his claim. The referee, the third man in the ring, Richard Steele, in his 99th world championship bout, and he is most remembered not for his good work, but for some controversy in the Chavez-Taylor fight. That's Julio Cesar Chavez, when he knocked out Meldrick Taylor in the final 2 seconds here in Las Vegas to regain his championship and stay unbeaten at that time. And also the Mike Tyson-Razor Ruddock rematch, in which Tyson knocked out Razor Ruddock late in the fight, but Ruddock appeared to be able to continue. As you can tell, both fighters are right-handed, and Paez, it's not easy to mistake these two, because Paez is in the sequence red, trimmed in his native colors of Mexico in green and white. De La Hoya in the blue with Oscar on the front, white trim down the side. De La Hoya's best punch is a straight right hand. Paez an accumulation of punches, but his left hook is a sleeper punch. Paez fought his first 31 bouts in Mexico, and in fact 13 of those first 31 was held in his hometown of Mexicali, including both of his bouts with Calvin Grove. Calvin Grove was the man he defeated to gain the IBF featherweight title back on August 4th of 1988. It was a 15-round decision in which Paez knocked down Grove 3 times in the final round to get the championship. Very clever and savvy boxer is Paez, even though in age he's 28. It's not considered a young 28. He's had a numerous amount of fights that you saw by his record posted. Overall, 53-6-4 with 35 knockouts for Paez. Some bad words exchanged at the press conference between these two fighters a couple of days ago. And De La Hoya, what he was told he was by the trainer, Alex Shearer, Paez's trainer, he said De La Hoya has never been taken into the deep water where he can see if he'll sink or swim when it gets tough. And Paez and company expect to make that happen here tonight. You can tell it's a filling out process between these two, and De La Hoya leans his head forward a bit, which makes it a lot easier for Paez to find his target, but the gloves of De La Hoya in the right position right in front of his face. De La Hoya, 21 years of age, 5'10½", which is very tall for a lightweight. And Paez at 5'5", giving away 5.5 inches. Round number 2 underway, and you know, Oscar De La Hoya now fighting for his family. He lost his mom, Cecilia De La Hoya. She passed away in October of 1990 due to breast cancer. 2 years later, De La Hoya, of course, he won the gold medal in 1992 at the Olympics in Barcelona. The right hand. It may be over, and is. He'll never make it. Here you can see the clutch combination punching of Oscar De La Hoya, and what won him not only an Olympic gold medal, but the junior lightweight championship in the same organization, the World Boxing Organization. And why 5 pounds heavier? He's indeed more than just a comer. He's a true champion. Listen to him roar. That's quick work for a man who's paid $800,000. That's the purse of Oscar De La Hoya. And here's a replay of the finish. The left, the right, another right hand, missed with the left, missed with the right, the left grazing, but the left hook again, and here it comes. As Paez got mixed up in the wrong kitchen, and it was too hot as that right hand there put to sleep Paez and perhaps his dream to become a 2-time world champion. The uppercut and that left hook there, though, had a lot to do with taking away the sharpness of Paez. But then there you can see the left again, the shots that missed. But Paez is really in the wrong zone to be trying to, oh, it was actually a left uppercut that put him away, and he crumbled and lost all of his equilibrium and his chance at a vacant title. Paez, by the way, just for the record, is being paid $175,000 for this engagement. And Paez has only been knocked out once in all of his 63 professional bouts. Paez is a big draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Richard Steele reaches the count of 10. The official time, 39 seconds of round number 2. The winner, winning his 2nd world title, the new WBO lightweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya.
Coming into this bout, Paez was considered to be second only to Julio Cesar Chavez as Mexico's most loved boxer. Well, perhaps he's now in the 3rd slot because De La Hoya just took away the number 2 position. We didn't have a chance to tell you that Paez is a slow starter. He was a bit too slow in this one here. Paez losing and dropping to 53-7-4 with 35 knockouts. And you just saw the numbers of the new WBO lightweight champion. 14 wins, 13 sleepers for Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy. One other note, De La Hoya in his last 2 bouts prior to this one, 2 of his last 3, was knocked down. Here's the interview.
Stable, a little bit more cautious in the 1st round.
Well, what I was trying to do is kind of get his game plan, see what he has to offer for myself, and I was just studying him and trying to be careful out there because I knew he was going to start out fast and he was going to just try to throw lunging punches and wild shots like that. So the 1st round was kind of a little filling out process, and the 2nd round we just did it.
Was that on account of the 2 knockdowns in those 3 fights that you felt you had been perhaps a little too reckless early in fights, trying to do too much too quick?
Exactly. 1st round, my past fight, my last fight with Valenzuela also, we were coming out too strong in the 1st round, kind of being overconfident. And now with this fight, as you can see, I was even more focused than my previous fights, and I just felt really great. I felt as if I was just here with Paez and nobody was here in the room. I was just concentrating and focusing on Paez.
Are you suggesting by that there was a little bit too much playing to the crowd, too much showbiz before, and that you had to settle down and be a professional prize fighter?
Well, as you know, as people know that they call me the Golden Boy. I have the Golden Boy image, and I kind of had to put a stop to that for a while because I had to focus on my opponent. I had to concentrate on boxing, and I had to just really show the people that I can focus and I can really do a good job with excellent opponents like Paez.
All right, we're going to try to run off the reel of that round and show your knockout, and we'd like you, when it comes up, to describe what happened, what you saw, what you did.
Well, I knew right here Paez was going to just throw lunging punches, and I did catch him with good left hooks, good right hands, and right here I hit him with a good left hook on top of the head right there that really did a lot of damage. And the final left hook right here coming up is what put him down, and I believe right there where his neck kind of got twisted a bit and it just went down. As you can see, he was out. And I'm really glad that fighters like Whitaker, fighters like Ruelas couldn't knock him out, and I knocked him out.
Well, that is a milestone for you. Let me then ask you further. Mexican fight fans, American Mexican fight fans, know boxing, and a lot of them were turning to be skeptical about you, just as they were about Sugar Ray Leonard when he was a young fighter. Did you feel that? Did you feel you had to do something sensational tonight to win those fans back?
Well, coming into this fight, I knew that the whole world was going to be watching. Afro-Americans, Anglos, Mexican-Americans, Mexican fighters, and I knew I had to prove to them, that I have to do a good job and that I am a good game fighter for them.
How about proving it to yourself after perhaps some doubts might have crept in the last months?
Well, my father knew, my trainer knew, myself, we knew that Paez really wasn't going to last. I mean, I wasn't going to predict a knockout. I was not going to predict anything. I knew Paez has a lot of experience, and I was ready for this fight. But to prove to myself, I did have to prove to myself, for the public, for everyone, and that's what I did tonight.
Talk to us about your strength at 135, because it seemed to us that you were staying at an artificially low weight at 130 pounds, a weight you had fought at for 4 or 5 years. You were 5 foot 10 inches. How much stronger are you now, and will you hold this weight for a while?
I feel much, much stronger at 135. When I was fighting 130 pounds, I was draining myself. I couldn't eat for 2 days before making the weight, and it was just very, very tough for myself, for my body physically, and also mentally for my mind. And now that I'm eating more, I can train, have a nice dinner, nice meal, and feel very, very strong for the match.
Do you feel now that you are equipped to take on some of the bigger names, bigger fighters, legitimate lightweights, etc., and how soon do you want to fight them?
Well, I'm sure Mr. Bob Arum has plans for us to fight all kinds of fighters out there. Most definitely we will fight Rafael Ruelas for the IBF title. We will go on a world tour after this, and we have just many, many plans, and I'm sure Mr. Bob Arum can explain that to you some more.
Just one other thing. You walked in and you looked very grim when you walked in, not as if you were throwing rose petals to the crowd with your smile, and you saved the smiles for afterwards. Is that how it's going to be from now on?
That was the objective, to come into the fight, focus, kind of having some blinders when I walk in, so I will not pay attention to the crowd. And afterwards, I can greet the people, have that golden boy image, and smile, and just be nice to everyone.
Thank you very much, Oscar. Jim?
Thank you.
HBO's Larry Merchant doing the interview with the newly crowned WBO lightweight champion Oscar De La Hoya. The victory pushing his mark to 14-0, 13 by K. And he is once again remaining as the crowd pleaser here in Las Vegas and around the world.